Hi, my name is Samantha and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be reviewing November's Quakertown Farmers Market. Let's get into it. So I was at Quakertown Farmers Market this past weekend on November 16th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. I have been here a couple times. I believe this was my third time. I was there in January and March, if I'm not mistaken. It is a 10 by 10 space. It's not exact. It's not totally like written out on the floor, but it's a 10 by 10 and the space is $25. It's run by a man named George. He has in the, oh, my words. The Quakertown Farmers Market is like a big antique flea market type mall. And so he has a sewing shop in there and there's a like open space next to him. And so he rents out that space every like third weekend or first weekend or something like that, every first Saturday of the month. And he does a craft show. So I've been there a handful of times. This was the first time that I would say that I was successful, although it was a very, very rough morning. So I got there at 8 a.m. and I left the house at like 6:30 in the morning. The pros are that it's cheap and easy. It's a simple show to do. You know, you roll up, especially that I've been there before. I just go in. I went in with my tape product. I think I did my product first. Maybe I did my tables. I don't know. I did 2 loads. I took 1 load in because I already knew where I was going. I didn't know which spot I'd be in, but I already knew the room. I was just like, hey, George, good morning. Where would you like me? And then we talked and then figured out my spot. And then I got the rest of my stuff, brought it in. And then I went back out to the car and then I moved my car farther away so that the customers could park closer. And then I came back in with my book bag. So really easy. As long as it's not like raining or snowing. The parking lot like is paved in some spots with asphalt and some spots it's gravel. So when it is icy, it's kind of like a muddy mess. So thankfully there was no precipitation in any way. So that made it really easy. Set up my booth, no problem. Everything was fine. I was next to, the people next to me were selling like wood, and then the people on my other side were selling candles that looked like real food. So like real looking pies and drinks and things like that. It was bizarre looking. Like when she first pulled out the box, I was like, is that a pie or is that a candle? And she's like, it's a candle. I was like, is there food in it? And she was like, no, they're all wax. It was like so hyper realistic. It was crazy. Could have been in one of those like, is it cake? And then you cut it, you know, like if it didn't have the candle wicks, I don't think you would know. It was crazy looking. They had so many different things. There was about 12 different vendors there. So most of us were along the edge of the room. The room is kind of an L shape. So, you know, there was some of us on this wall, and then some on that wall, some on this side, and then some on this side over here, and then a couple people in the middle. Today definitely had more foot traffic than the other times that I was there. But there was not very many buyers. It was very, very slow in the morning, not only for me, but for everyone else. Really, the only people like getting business was the candle people. And I only know this because I was sitting right next to them and the woman left the husband, and the husband kept answering the phone when she would call. And it's not that loud in that room. It's not that big in that room. And he's like 5 feet away from me, and he's like, hey honey, how's it going? And then he's like, in the morning he's like, yeah, I did $150. Then later they talked and he's like, yeah, I've done $300. And then later he's like, yeah, I've done $400. So I only know that they sold like $400 or $500 because he kept audibly saying it on the phone where everyone could hear. So yeah, that's the only reason that I know. But they definitely did the best out of anyone there. Their product was very cool though. The cons of this show is, the first one is that it is cold. So it's not as bad as being outside. If it was outside, you definitely have all the elements, you know, the wind, the rain, the snow, all of the things. But it is not warm in that room. I don't know if like they don't have air conditioning and heat in that building, but like dress like you're gonna be outside even though you're inside. Like wear a second pair of socks because it's cold. And then slow sales, so that's what I just said. And then the third one is a lot of customers just straight up ignored me. So like they would come to my booth. This one lady, she literally was at my booth touching my product, and I was like, hi, good morning. I was like, these are all jar openers. You're welcome to try them out. There's more than 100 patterns, you know, saying my whole spiel. She does not acknowledge me in any way. And then she looks straight at the person with her and she's like, they're jar openers. And I was like, okay, I like just said that to you. And then she starts touching the towels. I was like, are you familiar with the reusable towels? They're made of cotton flannel. And again, she just straight up ignores me. So I don't know, like, was I not being loud enough? Was I not being direct enough, even though she was the only person at my booth? But then the things that I was saying to her, she then repeated it to the person with her without ever looking me in the eye or ever acknowledging me. So I don't know, that was really strange. And then another interaction that I had was with these two, was it the same women? It might have been the same people. I don't know if it was the same women or not, but I had interacted with these two women with the jar openers and the towels, and then they left, and then they came back a couple of hours later, and I was like, oh, welcome back. And the lady's like, I'd like to get these towels. And she picks a pack of towels that was directly next to the price sign. She sets it down, and she puts down a $5 bill. And I was like, oh, okay, that'll be $16. You want to do cash or card? And she was like, 16? And I'm like, yes, they're a pack of 8 for $16. And the one she grabbed was literally right next to the price sign. And I don't even understand where any of that confusion could be, because it says pack of 8 for $16. Nowhere on there is the number 5 anywhere. And then the jar openers are $6 or 3 for 16. So I'm like so confused, like how there was miscommunication in any way. Like she ended up buying it. She gave me a 20 and I gave her 4 back. But she was like, what? It's 16? I was like, yes, that is what the price sign says. Like, I don't know. I was so confused. I'm like, what am I not like saying properly? Like, and I'm sure I've already put it on the screen here. Like that literally the pack she grabbed was right next to the sign, and the sign is an 8.5 by 11 sign. It's a huge sign. So I don't know. I was just so confused. I don't know if she was trying to like haggle me and like try to like get a better price or something, but like I don't know. I was very confused. I did not understand what was happening. But she thought that she was going to pay $5. So I don't know. But that happened. Yeah, so I was there from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. I did not get my first sale until 11:30, and that was a single jar opener. Then at 11:40, I had a single jar opener sale. So in the first 3 hours, I had $12 in sales. So I was really worried that this show was going to be just like all the other times that I've been there, where the first time I think I made like $20, and the second time I think was 30. Like barely anything, because like the $25 to be there, I pay $7 in tolls each way, so that's 14, and then the gas, the time, the effort. Like I need to make at least 100 or 200 bucks to make it worth my day, kind of break even, you know. Then in the 12 o'clock hour, I had 2 sales, and right around that time, George had come by and been like, oh, how's it going, this and that. I was like, not well, to be honest with you. Like, if he's asking how it's going, I'm not going to lie to him and say, oh, it's been going swell. You know, like, he's sitting in the room, too, trying to sell his stuff. And so, like, you can see that I'm not selling. Like, I'm trying to talk to people, and people are just straight up ignoring me. Like, multiple people straight up ignored me. So, I've never had that happen before. Like, maybe 1 or 2 off people, but, like, not groupings of people. So, I don't know. It was very confusing to me. But I was like, it's not going well, to be honest with you. And he's like, oh, well, you did well the previous times. And I was like, no, not really. And he was asking me like about where I source my fabric from, and we were talking about his fabric. He does a lot of quilting cotton. Pretty much that's the only thing he does. And he has just bolts and bolts in his shop. And I've asked him before, like, will you sell me fabric? And he's always told me no. And this time he's like, so I just got this Hanukkah order. Do you want to buy some fabric off of me? I can sell it for you cheap. I was like, yeah, sure, that sounds good. I was like, Hanukkah, holidays, dogs, cats, animals, like any of those, I'd be more than happy to work with you and buy some fabric off of you. Like, that'd be great. I would love to, you know, support this guy who's trying to let me sell. And like, he has a lot of prints that I can't find other places because he's ordering them from all sorts of different places. He's not just getting them from Joann's and Michael's, you know? And he's like, okay, let me see what I could do. And I told him all I need is a half-yard cut. And he comes back with 3 half-yard cuts, so 1.5 yards. I was like, how much do you want for them? And he's like, oh, nothing, it's fine. You can have it. Thanks for coming to the show. I was like, oh, okay, thank you. I appreciate it. So at that point, I had like maybe $20 in sales, and it was like past noon. I was like, oh, well, thank you. And I was like, okay, well, at least the pro of today, if I didn't at least make my booth, was that, you know, I got some fabric in the process. So he gave me 3 fabrics, and they actually all fall under the category of what people have asked me for. This one actually has a price tag on it. He bought this in 2017. So this first one, I'm probably too far away, but this one says like peace, hope, love, thanks. And then these two are Kwanzaa ones. So that's cool. I've not really seen Kwanzaa fabric. So these will be great to make some jar openers and some tissue pouches. And this other Kwanzaa one. So I really appreciate that. And I really hope that the next time I go, he'll be willing to sell me some fabric, because that'd be great. I would love to, you know, get that business going between us. That would be very helpful. Yeah. But so 11 a.m. I had 2 sales, noon I had 2 sales, and then 2 p.m. I had 4 sales. So it ended up being a fine day. It ended up being okay. I did $130 in sales, which was 8 sales, $17.50 a piece, or average. $98 in cash. That was the other thing. Like, everyone wanted to pay cash, which doesn't normally happen. And then card $40, and the fee was $1. So I did $108 in jar openers, 18 jar openers, $32 in reusable towels, 2 reusable towels. So I didn't take everything with me. I only had the jar openers, reusable towels, tissue pouches, and then my bundles that I put together. Did I show you guys the bundles? I did the large show bundles and the small show bundles. And so I had those, and the only things that sold were the jar openers and the towels. Yeah, so it ended up being okay. I kind of look at it too as like, if I average that out for January and March, then like they're all like okay. So now when I go back in December, so I'm going back on December 21st, there's also Santa photos that day. I really hope that helps sales. However, I'm not super optimistic about it, because of the fact that when I did the March show and the Easter Bunny was there, the families were like coming in, getting their picture, and leaving. Like, they did not want to look at us. They did not want to interact with us in any way. So I have a feeling that the Santa thing is going to be the same way. However, we are like so close to Christmas. So I'm really hoping we get some people who are like, oh crap, I didn't buy anything and I need a Christmas gift. So I could see it going either way. I could see like doing really well in December, or I could see it being terrible. So I don't know. My goal for that day is like $200-300 so that the 4 shows can even out. And then we'll see how December goes and make the plans for next year. I'm leaning towards next year, maybe only going in November and December, if I go at all. I don't know. We'll see. Santa pictures. Yeah, so I have 2 shows left. So that show is December 21st, and then I have a show December 8th, The Real Ladies of Loudoun County. That is at Claude in Sterling, Virginia. So I have 1 Virginia show, 1 Pennsylvania show. So that's only 2 weeks away. I'm really hoping that I can knock out some Christmas jar openers, because I've been hanging all of my holiday prints, which is, so I sold out of my Valentine's and what's the other one? Shamrocks. St. Patrick's Day. I sold out of those ones. The Christmas ones, I had a bunch of Christmas ones at Dulles, and this lady bought me out like the first day, and then the other days people are asking me for them, and I was like, I'm sorry, one lady bought like all of them. I think I have like 2 left, a gingerbread man and a snowflake, I think, are the only ones that are left, and my display holds like 24 of them. So I'm really hoping that in the next 2 weeks I can make 20-30 jar openers, somewhere around that. A roll of shelf liner gets me 20, so I'm gonna shoot for 20. If I can make 20 Christmas jar openers, not all the same pattern, hopefully 20 different patterns, I don't know. We're gonna use the stash, we're gonna use the new fabric, so the Hanukkah, the Christmas, the snowmen, all that kind of stuff, all the winter-esque themes. Also that new fabric from Hobby Lobby. So I've got to get this stuff washed and ironed and cut out, and I'm hoping that I can like do maybe 10 patterns, 2 of each would be really nice. I don't think it'll take me too long to make them. So yeah, I think that will help. I think that if I have those for December, and even if I sell out December 8th, then I can make more for December 21st. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. That's kind of my thoughts. So like I said, the show ended up being okay. It was really rough at the beginning, and I just like was trying to interact with people the best I could. My booth looked really good. I was very proud of my booth. I thought it looked really nice. I took my Kindle with me. I was just reading my Kindle. I got through like 10% of my book. So, you know, all in all, it ended up being a good day. Got some fabric, which I really appreciate, and then ended up being all right with sales. So, you know, sometimes you just have to stick with it. I've been to a lot of shows like that where it's like rough in the morning and then people just pack up and leave. The issue with that is that the vendor realm is not that big, and if you do that, you're gonna be on someone's shit list. You're gonna get blacklisted. People are not gonna want you at their events, so you should not pack up early unless there's like something going on, right? You sold out of all your product, your kid is going to the hospital, like something like drastic is happening, and you speak to the event organizer and you tell them what's going on. But like if you just pack up and leave because it's slow, you're not gonna be able to do an event with those people or any of those people that they interact with again. So I'm glad I stuck it out. Ended up being worth it. We'll see how December goes. I'll give you guys an update then. And after the December show, we'll be able to do the 2024 wrap-up video, which I'm really looking forward to. I'll have the other wrap-up videos linked down below if you haven't already seen those. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.